Morning.
Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And welcome to episode 54 of Coffee and Toys, guys. Man, do I have an episode for you guys. It is chock full of so much stuff. Channel updates, life updates, display / studio updates. As you guys can see behind me, I come back from a 2-week hiatus and I have a completely new studio behind me. We'll definitely get into that later on, but of course, as always, we will of course talk this week's Coffee and Toys Live, future guests for Coffee and Toys Live, this week's toy haul, and of course this week's toy news. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. If you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. With all of that being said, guys, once again, welcome to episode 54 of Coffee and Toys, guys. Man, does it feel good to be back doing this podcast, at least, you know, not so much being home in LA, but, you know, it feels good to be surrounded by my collection again, doing this podcast, talking with you guys. Of course, the week I was out on vacation, Mesco, my favorite toy company, had to hold their RumbleCon, which is essentially just them showing off you know, new Rumble Society characters, which I absolutely love. So we are definitely going to go back a week and go over all of that, because I personally want to go over each and every single one of those reveals, because I am definitely excited for a lot of them. So we'll definitely talk about RumbleCon, plus you know, all the toy news from this past week, which is quite a bit, because as you can see, I have one page here, a back page, a front page, and another back page, and that's still that I don't go over G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends. I do want to apologize to Marvel Funko Bros. I'm not going to be going over the brand new Marvel Legends that they announced, only because I have so much other stuff to go over. I know this episode's already going to be a lengthy one, and well, it's going to be that much longer to edit. So yeah, that's why I'm going to exclude Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe from this week. I do apologize, but I'm sure you already know all the news, man. You stay up to date. Hell, you pre-order everything as soon as it comes out, so I know you've got all the information that you need. But I still like to go over it just because, you know, you're a great supporter, and I know that's what you collect, and I like to go over that for you. But yeah, 2 pages, front and back. Got to X out a few things. But yeah, starting off with, why don't we go ahead and start off, as we always do in this show, by talking about this week's Coffee and Toys Live, which unfortunately is non-existent, because my guest that I did have scheduled for this week had to cancel because of work. So it was very last minute. She canceled, I think, Tuesday night, and I'll be honest, guys, this week has just been like a readjustment week for me. You guys probably noticed my video output was probably like and that's because I got back. I had to get back into the swing of things. It's been a rough week, but it's finally coming to an end. And come next week, I will be back on my routine of everything, including videos and everything. So look forward to next week of everything being back to normal, guys. I do apologize. This week has just been like a catch-up week, as well as a rest and recover week, because you know what they always say, you need a vacation after your vacation. So that's essentially what this week has been for me. But as you can see, it has also been quite a busy week, you know, aside from the rest and relaxation. So yeah, guys, this week's Coffee and Toys Live, like I said, unfortunately was canceled because this week's guest could not make it. So that kind of, I'll be honest, that kind of made me doubt the show. I kind of was thinking, like, is there even any interest in Coffee and Toys Live? So I went ahead and put up a poll on my Instagram story, and you guys knocked it out of the park. You guys all voted pretty much almost unanimously to continue the show. I say almost unanimously because there were 2 people that voted no, which totally fine. I can totally respect that, because everybody has their opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Unfortunately, some smell more than others, but no, I'm just kidding. I definitely respect you for, you know, voting, because you took the time to vote, where some people just took the time to watch my story and skip through. So I really do appreciate you voting and letting me know how you feel. But like I said, 85% have said yes, continue the show, so we will be pushing forward. For next week's guest, I am actually in talks with the one and only Mad Hatter Reviews. Hopefully I can get him on next week, if not sometime soon on the show. The following week I should be speaking with, I believe, Diorama Prints. It is a company that produces diorama prints for action figures, so super excited to talk to them. And aside from that, I don't really have anything confirmed or anything after them. So as I get more people, as I confirm more guests, you guys will be the first to know. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately I had to cancel this week's because this week's guest could not make it. However, we will be pushing forward with Coffee and Toys Live as well as this podcast. So with that all out of the way, why don't we go over some life updates, guys, because I made some serious decisions while I was in Maui. I bought some Aloha shirts. That's kind of my style now, I can say. And by the way, these are called Aloha shirts, not Hawaiian shirts. They're advertised as Aloha shirts out there, so I will be referring to them as Aloha shirts. By the way, it is Aloha Friday as I am filming this, but you guys will be seeing this on Sunday, so probably no point in me bringing that up. And if you don't know what Aloha Friday is, this is essentially just the Hawaiian way of celebrating that it's Friday. So yeah, with that being said, like I said, major life decisions were made on the island of Maui. Nothing confirmed yet, so I did apply to Maui PD. I'm currently in the backgrounding process. I took my PT test while I was out there. I did a ride along with Maui PD on a Friday night, and let me tell you, nothing fucking happened, which is really different from when I did my internship over with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Middle of the day, the board and the radio was going crazy. Whereas on a small island in the middle of the Pacific on a Friday night, the radio was dead silent, the computer was dead silent, and we were just shooting the shit and kind of just walking around, patrolling the whole island and whatnot, looking at different places and cool stuff. So while I was out there, like I said, I did apply. I did do my PT test, and I am currently in the backgrounding check. I have to take my written test, and then from there, they will determine or decide whether or not they're going to offer me a job. So if that is the case, I don't know what's going to happen with this channel. I have to be 100% honest with you guys, because that will be 5 months of the academy, and most likely I am going to try and choose a assignment off island. And I know you guys are probably thinking, off island, what the fuck are you talking about? So the county of Maui actually patrols 2 other sub islands next to Maui, Lanai and Molokai. They also cover the jungle foresty area called Hana, but that's on island, so I don't really consider that off island. But I am going to be pushing for those jobs because they cover everything: your house, your food, your car, and so that would be a great opportunity for me to go and just save a bunch of money and either buy a business or buy a nice house when I do finally decide to take a different assignment, take one on the actual island of Maui. But like I said, I'm currently in the process, so I don't know. They can always say no. I don't think so, because I only have a traffic ticket on my record from when I first started to drive, but who knows what comes up or what happens and whatnot. So nothing is confirmed, but it is currently in the process. And I figured I owed it to you guys to at least warn you guys that I don't know exactly what's going to happen with this channel if I do get accepted, because like I said, it's going to be 5 months of the academy, and I don't think, well, I mean, we're able to go home, he said. We're able to go home, but I don't think I'm going to have my stuff with me. I'm not going to have my filming stuff. I'm not going to have my toys. I'm probably barely going to have a bag of clothes to get me through the 5 months of academy. And then after that, like I said, if I take the Lanai Molokai assignment, I'll be on a separate island. I'm not going to be wanting to ship all my stuff to Maui and then ship it to Lanai or Molokai and then having to ship it all back, especially considering that the places that they do cover are like a shared space with other officers and whatnot. I could myself go and rent an Airbnb on the island. However, that's just going to cut into my income, and the whole point of me taking those assignments would be to save money. So I don't know what's going to happen with this channel if I do get accepted. I have to be 100% honest, and I kind of just came to that realization. You know, I put a lot of hard work and dedication into this channel, and I don't know. I just really don't. But you have me till the end of the year, at least. Well, at least till June of next year, because that's when the next available academy will be. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere just yet. But like I said, I felt like I owed it to you guys, my followers, my supporters, to at least give you guys a heads up of what's going on in my life and the big life decision that I made while I was on vacation. I keep joking with people, I went in for some information expecting them to tell me to kick rocks. You're from the mainland. We're not going to deal with hiring from the mainland. You got to come and live out here for a while. And instead, I am halfway through the process. So, yeah, guys, it's been a crazy few days. It's been a crazy few weeks, to say the least, for myself. But I will keep you guys up to date, so that way you guys are aware of everything that comes my way. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and talk some channel updates? Well, there's not too much new to talk about. I did touch upon this on my last podcast, I believe, before I left to Hawaii, and that is that I am gonna try and live a little now, and what I mean by that is actually go to sleep at a decent time and not worry that my video is not going up, or I'm missing a video, or I didn't edit, I didn't take pics, and I'm up till 1 or 2 in the morning when I have to get up at 3 to start training people at 5 because I do cardio before. So it's been really cutting into me, and I really want to try and focus on building as much size as I can before I leave. And if you didn't know, sleep is very key to building muscle and being fit and everything in fitness. Sleep is so important, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get more sleep. Aside from just wanting to get bigger in size, I feel it really taking a toll on myself. Leading up to my vacation, I felt it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be gone for 10 days. I'm gonna get to rest. I'm gonna get to relax. It's not gonna be the same. However, when I got back, it's been the same, and I'm really starting to feel it catch up with me. So I'm gonna try and catch a few more Z's opposed to 2 to 3 hours a night. I'm gonna try to push for 6 to 7. I can't really do 8. I have to admit, like 8 hours, I feel sluggish. I feel tired, ironically. But yeah, so 6 to 7 hours I'm going to try and get. So yeah, that's basically the quick channel update. Like I said, I touched upon it in my last podcast, but it has been a few weeks. So I just wanted to give you guys that update once again. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the upgraded studio, guys. As you can see, no more cheap Amazon shelves behind me. Well, they're actually right here. But I did manage to pick up 2 DTOFs for my Hot Toys, guys, because if you remember previously, I had my Hot Toys essentially on all these open shelves, and I do live in California, and it hasn't happened in a long time. Knock on wood. Do I have wood anywhere? But I think this chair's made of wood, so knock on wood. But we do tend to get earthquakes here, and so my biggest fear was that something was going to happen and all my Hot Toys were just going to go crashing to the floor. And so I went ahead and hit up the OfferUp app and found 2 DTOFs already assembled, not too far from me, for a great price. Brought them home, and as you can see, I quickly filled them out and added some lights. Now, these aren't the permanent lights. I am going to be ordering some other lights to hang up top, strip ones and stuff like that. But these are lights that I have from my other displays and whatnot that I went ahead and pulled and borrowed, so that way I could light it up and make it look all nice and pretty for you guys. So yeah, super awesome. I have to admit, these things look so fucking elegant. I walk into my room now and I'm just like, this is my fucking room? Like, there's just something about these DTOFs that it just brings a real atmosphere and real just museum quality to your collection. I thought for $40 these shelves were good, and that was when DTOFs were $67 at IKEA. They're $99 now. They jumped $30 fucking dollars, guys. But like I said, I did buy these off of OfferUp for a great deal. I believe they were about $85 a piece, which is not bad considering that I didn't pay tax. I didn't have to put them together. They came pre-built. The guy already had them built. He had stuff in them. So yeah, I couldn't really complain about that. The only thing I am happy is that he didn't have a third one, because I did ask if he had 3, and he said he only had 2. And as you can see, I don't think I'd be able to fit a third one back there. So that's the only good thing that came of that. But other than that, guys, yeah, super awesome. Super excited to have DTOS finally, guys. Man, it's been a long time coming. I mean, you see these in everybody's collection and everything, and you think one day. And it's the same thing with Hot Toys. You know, you're like one day, and then you finally pull the trigger, and you're just like, fuck, why didn't I do this sooner? Because, man, it just looks absolutely beautiful. Like I say, I walk into my room now and I'm just blown away, and I couldn't be happier with these shelves, and especially the way that they display my Hot Toys and protect my Hot Toys. So yeah, as you can tell, I am super happy with the results, super happy with this brand new studio. I looked at it on camera and I think it looks phenomenal, especially compared to the dingy, dark, brownness of that one right there. I think the real big difference is that these ones don't allow light to pass through them, whereas the DTOFs obviously do, since they're full glass and everything. So that's pretty cool. You really see all the figures here. Sorry, I thought he was gonna fall over. But here, I guess you kind of do see some pretty decent stuff here. However, when I had them like back here and stuff, maybe I just wasn't content with it. I just wasn't content with it. Whereas these ones, I am super happy with. I couldn't be happier. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of the brand new studio, the DTOFs? Do you think they look good? Should I rearrange some stuff? I know this one looks a little empty, but that's because these two guys actually go right there, and I am actually saving another spot for another one that I will be picking up from fellow collector Austin Nicholas. So I'll be picking that up from him very soon. I think next month. I asked him if he could hold it for at least a month so I can kind of space out my purchases, because like I said, I just got back from vacation and I've already picked up 2 new Hot Toys, 2 new DTOFs, and so yeah, I kind of have to slow down a bit. So he's gonna hold on to it for 1 more month for me, and then I will be picking it up. But yeah, guys, like I said, let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think of the new setup? Hope you guys like it as much as I do. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and get into this week's toy haul? And as you can see, a haul it is. We have Super 7, we have Black Series, we have the Loyal Subjects, we have Hot Toys. So we are going to go ahead and start off with this guy right here, the Loyal Subjects comic and action figure set. So I do want to shout out and thank the Loyal Subjects for sending over this figure right here for me to shoot and review for you guys. This guy honestly blew me away. I was not expecting him to be as awesome as he is, especially considering that there's like NECA, really just NECA out there doing some phenomenal work and whatnot. But he is actually pretty cool, and I kind of wish I had all 4 turtles. Loyal Subjects, if you're listening, feel free to send me the other 3 and I will definitely shoot and review them for you. But yeah, he's pretty damn cool, and so I was super happy. He was a complete surprise. I had spoken to them about them sending me over product, and I hadn't heard from them for a while, and I kind of just forgot about it. And when I got home from vacation, I saw that there was a random package that had names that I didn't recognize and whatnot, so I was like, okay, let me see what's in here. And yeah, sure enough, it was Donatello. I emailed them real quick, making sure that they were the ones that sent them over, and sure enough, they were. So once again, shout out and thank you so much to the Loyal Subjects for sending over this Donatello figure and comic book set for me to shoot and review for you guys. So moving on to what is under Donatello, we finally, I think this was announced sometime last year if I'm not mistaken, but we finally got the Black Series Droids Boba Fett, guys. Man, this has definitely been a long time coming. Like I said, what's it been, like a year since they announced this guy? He does come in this awesome window packaging right here. Unfortunately, they did go ahead and use the Empire Strikes Back body, which is really fucking irking me, I'm not gonna lie. I understand that costume fits in line more with this one in the animated series. However, I'll take articulation and mobility over accuracy to the costume any day, in my opinion, especially if it's not that much of a difference. So, yeah. However, this will be this week's unboxings. So we do actually have an unboxing for this episode, guys. Yeah, I told you guys, this is going to be a long episode, and that's without a Coffee and Toys Live. So, yeah. Moving on, we do have the Super 7 Mouser packs, and as you can see, I have one open up top, and I have another one underneath that I have yet to open. And you're probably thinking, well, why'd you get 2? Well, why not? They're army builders, right? I mean, they're mousers. Aside from that, you do only get 2 baby turtles with each set. So Super 7 definitely knew what they were doing, because they knew that if people were going to army build them, they'd have 4 extra turtles. So why not only include 2? And that way, if somebody buys 2, they get all 4 baby turtles. So yeah, super cool and awesome. So since everything's set up here, I'm not going to pull anything off except for maybe the mousers. So you do get 2 battle damaged mousers right here. As you can see, it's all fucked up and everything. And then you do get 3 normal standard mousers, as you can see. Now, these guys do not have quite the articulation that the NECA ones do. In fact, these guys only rotate their heads, open their mouths, and move their feet forward and back. They don't even have ankle articulation, so you can't even make them look like they're running, unfortunately. They can only basically be standing up like this. But you do also get a few extra accessories with these mousers. Like I said, you do get 2 baby turtles, a pre-mutated Splinter, a TCRI ooze gel, as well as size that have some battle damage to them for, Raph to be sticking them into the mousers and whatnot, a pizza slice, as well as a tiny remote control to control said mousers. So yeah, guys, that is it in terms of this set. It does come jam-packed with quite a bit, I mean, the NECA one only came with mousers, and I believe they're equivalent in pricing, if I'm not mistaken, although the NECA one may have been slightly cheaper. But yeah, they go ahead and fill out this offering with some extra accessories for you guys. So yeah, that wraps it up for the Super 7 Mouser Pack. Why don't we go ahead and move on into the Hot Toys, guys. And man, do I fucking love these guys. And them too, but a Chrome Clone Trooper, you should see him in there with the light. Oh, chef's kiss, guys. But talking about these guys, I picked them both up off of OfferUp. So if you go on Sideshow's website, you will find this guy for $230. Still, after a few years after his release, if I'm not mistaken. However, I was able to steal him for $160. And yes, I mean steal, because that's a fucking steal, guys. Brand new, like 100% brand fucking new. I was pulling off the plastic, off the legs, off the arms, off the head. Brand fucking new Squad Leader Shore Trooper for $160. I could not say no, and that's why you see him here on the desk. This guy was, I believe, $30 over the retail price, which was phenomenal, because I saw listings for $450, $550, and I paid $30 over retail, which was essentially nothing compared to those exuberant prices that they were asking for him. Unfortunately, on the cover art, they do put 2 of them side by side, making you want to, but honestly, as it is, I can only fit 1 in there, so 1 is good enough for me. But yeah, super awesome. I was at Star Wars Celebration when they had this guy up for pre-order. However, I decided to pass, and then when I started seeing people post pictures of him, I got the FOMO, and also just the, damn, that guy looks fucking good, and I really should have picked him up. And so I went ahead and found him on OfferUp for a pretty decent price. So yeah, that basically wraps it up for this week's toy haul, guys. And yeah, I think we didn't even have a toy haul for the last episode, because I was going to Hawaii and I was like, I don't want to spend money and stuff like that. But also no pre-orders came in, so I was kind of SOL, shit out of luck. But this week, not the same. And I guess you could go ahead and include the DTOFs as well. Unfortunately, as you can see, they're giant and I can't put them on my desk physically. But they are behind me and you guys get to see them and stuff. So yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this week's toy haul. So why don't we get into the exuberant amount of toy news that we have to go over today, guys. Man, editing this is going to be fun. Thankfully, I haven't been doing too many mix-ups and slip-ups. I have flipped up my words a few times right now during filming, but nothing too crazy, nothing like I usually do. Thank you, because that would take me absolutely forever if I was screwing up every other word like I normally do when I film this podcast. But thankfully today I'm running through it pretty simply, despite having a lot to go through. I'm still just rambling on and trying to figure out how I'm going to get through all this in a decent amount of time. But I guess just jumping right on in would be the best way to go about it. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and talk about my favorite toy company, Mesco Toys. And like I said, of course, the weekend that I am out of town, they go ahead and have their RumbleCon, which is essentially them showing off their brand new Rumble Society figures that are up and coming. So starting off with the brand new Gomez that they released for this event. And yeah, it was Union Gomez. I mean, hard hat Gomez, blue collar Gomez. I don't know. This one didn't really catch my eye, I have to admit. It was kind of just like a eh. And so I went ahead and passed on it, surprisingly. Yes, you heard me right. I passed on a Gomez. Now, I'm sure I'll be able to pick him up off of OfferUp for a lot less than what he was selling for retail. So I'm going to go ahead and hold off on him. And if I can find him for like, say, 60 or 70, take my fucking money. I'll pay that all day, every day for a fucking Mesco. Especially a fucking Gomez. Fuck yeah. Although I highly doubt I'll be able to find him for that because he's still a Gomez. And people put a lot of stock in them, you know, despite the theming of them. I really feel like we could have got a better one. Maybe the cowboy one that we've been all asking for. That's just me, though. But along with the Union Gomez release, they did also release a brand new Mesco Toys Collector's Union shirt. And I went ahead and picked this one up, as well as an extra Black Skull, because they did have a Black Skull sale for the con. So I went ahead and picked them up because I've been wanting a fourth one. And well, what better time to pick one up when they're having a sale, and also when they're in stock, because aside from this day, they hadn't been in stock in the Mesco website for quite some time. In fact, the ones that I have, I actually picked up for retail, but off of OfferUp. If you can't tell, I use OfferUp quite a bit. So yeah, they are working on also adding to a former Gomez's Hazard Squad, and that is the Hazard Squad Death Adder. This guy did win the fan vote when they did put it up on their Twitter page a little after they released the Hazard Squad Commander Gomez. And well, we're finally getting some pictures of what he's gonna look like eventually when they do finally solicit orders for him, because aside from the new Gomez, nothing was solicited. Everything was reveals and pictures and whatnot, but nothing was solicited for order except for Union Gomez. And in fact, he did sell out quite fast with a 2 limit per person. But then Mesco opened up an open window pre-order up until, I believe, Monday or Tuesday of this week. So if you didn't manage to get your hands on him then, you had a second chance. And if you missed it then, you're just SOL shit out of luck. Sorry about that. But yeah, so this guy looks fucking awesome. And he was definitely my vote to be the next one in the Hazard Squad to be produced. So I'm super happy that he is going to be coming soon. So earlier this year, NECA released their brand new Atticus Doom figure. And well, now we're going to be getting a Necroverse Atticus Doom figure. And if you look behind him, he does come with a really cool smoke effect in the back. He does also come with glow-in-the-dark head and hands. So look out soon for the Necroverse Atticus Doom. Moving on to actually Atticus Doom's villain, Bartholomew Vex. So we first saw a glimpse of this guy in the Atticus Doom stop motion advertisement that Mesco did for him, and apparently a lot of people were clamoring that they wanted him in figure form. So Mesco graciously obliged and gave us, well, essentially I guess a devil man. And that kind of leads into the next part, which is a lot of people didn't like that, but a lot of people were asking for it. So it's like, what the fuck do you want? You know, do you want it? Do you not? Do you want it? Do you want not? But knowing Mesco, well, I mean, this is Rumble Society. They push out Rumble Society pretty quickly since it is their in-home franchise and whatnot. But if it was, say, like a DC or Marvel, I'd be like, you got plenty of time. But knowing them, they're going to pump most of these out, most likely before Christmas, guys. I truly believe that at least Atticus Doom can be put out before Christmas. I think Bartholomew Vex can be put out before Christmas as well. He doesn't look too crazy. so far out of the ones we've talked about, I think those ones can definitely show up sooner rather than later. Moving on, they did also show 5 Points Some Love with this brand new Doc Knock and Frog Butler set. And as you can see, Doc Knock's been hitting the gym, and he doesn't skip leg day, guys. So yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but all of a sudden they started making Doc Knock really fucking buff and shredded. Opposed to, you know, the original one where he's more of like a shorter statue guy and more reliant on his attitude and skills than his actual strength. But it seems like, well, Mesco's trying to bulk him up a bit, and I'm not against it. But this 5 point set does look phenomenal, and like I said, I may just have to buy it because he's a buffed up, roided out Doc Knock, and he'll go perfect with my other Doc Knock 5 points that I got in the advent calendar that Mesco did last year. So after that, they did also show off another skull. This time it's in the form of Cousin Eddie. Yes, Cousin Eddie is getting a second release. Now, it is not him in his reindeer uniform. Instead, it is of him in street clothes. Unfortunately, his pants are pleather. So just keep in mind that they are pleather and they have the tendency to disintegrate over time. But it is going to be Eddie and Bella. He is coming with a repainted John Wick dog. So that should be fun. Oh, and he also comes with one of the brand new animated heads. So if you happen to have bought the brand new Pink Skull set, you'll know that it comes with, I think it's like 8 sets of heads. The ones that they come in the box with, plus 4, 8. Was there another set on that side? That would be 12. So who knows how many heads we're going to be getting with this Cousin Eddie. Are they going to go the same route as the Pink Skull's Chaos Club by including some original Pink Skull or Blue Skull heads that have articulated jaws, plus the cartoon ones? We'll just have to wait and see. So the last big announcement that they did make in terms of figure was their boy, their mascot for the Slugfest Emporium, Slugfest himself. And man, oh man, am I excited for him, guys. Because when am I not excited for a huge hunk of plastic to tower over all my other figures, especially in toy photography. So that's why I'm definitely looking forward to them finally giving us Slugfest. So that is all in terms of the actual reveals during RumbleCon. However, that's not all, because later in the week they did announce some new apparel slash costume merch, and that's in the form of 2 new masks and 2 new sweatshirts. The first one being, of course, the classic Pink Skull, and of course the second is Doc Knock. Now, you don't have to stay chilly while you're out trick-or-treating in these masks, because Mesco went ahead and included 2 sweatshirts that go with the mask. So they did release a brand new Pink Skull's Chaos Club sweatshirt as well as a Doc Knock sweatshirt. So that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into I guess let's give me a sec. Okay, let's get into some NECA news. This will be made clear sooner rather than later, but before I get into it, I want to stay in a good mood. So let's talk about their reveals before we talk about their botched, very fucked up and botched Auto T and Walmart partnership. What is Auto T? It is not a car part company or whatnot. It is actually a vault to store collectibles. We'll get into all that in a sec. Let's go ahead and talk about all the reveals that they are making during the 31 days of Halloween. The first one being the next addition to the Universal Monster line, and that is Phantom of the Opera, which is pretty ironic because they did also just announce the next line in the TMNT Monsterverse figures, and that is Casey Jones as the Phantom of the Opera. But the Phantom is not the only monster that is getting added to the collection. We are also going to be getting the creature from the Black Lagoon, one of my personal favorite classic horror films, and I could not be more excited. Now, I don't know if this is going to be included with the figure or if this is like some separate role-playing stuff that, you know, a lot of these companies are doing nowadays. But you will get a hand from the creature as well as a spear gun and the figure itself. So the next thing that they did tease, well, if you didn't know, Chucky Season 2 is well underway. Episode 2 does premiere this week on Wednesday, I believe, on Sci-Fi, and I think they put it up on YouTube afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. But if you remember back in season 1 when Chucky got his face melted off, well, NECA is going to be giving us a version of that. So that'll be super cool and awesome when we finally get to see a front view and see all the great detail in that melted face. So next up, another figure that was announced in the Universal Monsters / TMNT crossover line, and that is Donatello as the Invisible Man. This is the final turtle that we do need, and he looks absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love the clear shell that shows the pizza pieces in between. It just looks so fucking awesome. I couldn't be happier with it. And yeah, it's not really a mainstay in terms of like my favorite horror films and stuff like that, like The Invisible Man, but hey, if you can make a great kick-ass figure, you can go right there on the shelf. So it is currently New York Comic Con right now, and of course NECA is there, them being based in New Jersey. It's a quick short I believe a car ride over. So they did also set up 2 street scene dioramas to show off some new figures from the animated series. So yeah, they showed off some figures that we had already previously seen at San Diego Comic Con, but they are also showing off some brand new ones. So starting off with the top, we do have Space Usagi Jimbo. Super cool, super awesome. Next up, we do get a roided out Napoleon. This guy's is definitely on the juice and out for blood. And last but not least, we are also getting the Rocksteady gang in their unmuted form, or unmutated form, I should say. I wish they came with a muted button, but they don't. So that is all the reveals that we have gotten so far in the 31 days of Halloween or Fright, whatever NECA is calling it. At least it's not AutoZone or Auto T or Auto. What? Who puts the word auto in a toy company? That's just bad PR. That's just bad marketing, you know. Instantly you're thinking of a automotive company, right? I can't be the only one that thinks of a car company when I think of Auto T. Or as Mad Hatter says, AutoZone, you know. So yeah, this is fucking crap. This is 100% fucking crap. NECA, get your fucking shit together. What the fuck are you doing? You are a collector company. You're not fucking Hasbro selling to collectors and children. You're a collector specific company. What in your goddamn mind told you that us collectors that are constantly like, where's my order? Where's my pre-order? Where's my order? Where's my pre-order? Are gonna want to leave our purchases in your stupid toy vault for 2+ years. You know who's gonna want to do that? Resellers, not actual collectors, because actual collectors, even inbox collectors, want the product that they paid for in hand so they can display it, even if it's in the fucking box. What the fuck, NECA? What in your goddamn fucking mind told you that collectors are not gonna want their fucking product? Huh? Really, like, what went through your fucking mind? Is it the fact that maybe you don't have the inventory, and if people put it away, you guys will have time to make up that inventory, but if everybody pulls it out, are you guys going to be canceling orders? I don't fucking know. But aside from that being just utterly trash and everything, the figures that were part of this were supposed to go up at 7 o'clock. However, Walmart went ahead and did what Walmart does best and fuck everything up, and went ahead and put them out early online. And so while people were waiting on the Auto T or AutoZone website, waiting for the timer to count down and zero out so we can have access to these figures that we want, they were quickly being sold out at the Walmart app. So yeah, that was a very, very fun experience, to say the least. I definitely tore NECA a new one during my stories. I like to say that it was because of me that they came out later on and said, don't worry, there's going to be more stock tomorrow. I'm just kidding, guys. That wasn't because of me. But yeah, it's bad, guys. It's bad. And it got even worse. That's the crazy thing, is that it actually got fucking worse. So remember how I said that NECA actually put up a post on their story saying, don't worry, if you missed out on today's stock, we're going to put some more out for tomorrow, so that way you guys get a chance. So this time I was ready. I was on the dot there, ready to go. and everything was fucking sold out still. And it turns out it was because NECA hadn't even updated anything. So after I once again tore NECA a brand new one in my stories, they went ahead and released a statement saying, we apologize, but the store's not up and running yet, and we will let you know as soon as it is. Once again, another lie and another worse step in the wrong direction, because it got even worse. Because I randomly checked the Walmart app. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. I was like, just check it, see if you can purchase them right now. And sure enough, I was able to buy them. I quickly bought them, headed over straight to the NECA profile on Instagram. Absolutely no announcement. In fact, there wasn't an announcement until 20 minutes later, guys. Like, what the fuck? You know, thankfully I was already able to secure my 2 figures that I wanted. And what 2 figures are those? The black and white Mirage Shredder and Foot Soldier. The blue color Renee was also part of it, but I'm not really too into those characters. She's cool, she's hot in the comics and the cartoon and all that stuff, but I just don't need a figure of her clogging up my shelves personally. But she does look good. But I went ahead and only picked up the Foot Soldier and Shredder. And as it is already, I basically paid import prices for them because they were $40 a piece, plus shipping, plus tax. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I am actually almost out. And I say almost because NECA will keep me in. Yeah, NECA's going to keep me in. That's basically it. I will be collecting Mesco still. Don't worry about that. But as far as like Black Series, Mcfarlane Toys, unless it's a mega figure that I absolutely love from Mcfarlane Toys, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy Funko Pops. I don't buy any more Star Wars toys because, one, they're so overpriced. It's ridiculous. You know, I mean, Hasbro's doing away with all the plastic packaging, which should save them a shit ton of money, which should tell them to pass it on to you, the consumer. But instead they're just pocketing it. So yeah, it's a shit show, but it is what it is, guys. So I basically called it, guys. I saw that they were having technical difficulties in all my story. I was just like, well, now it's just gonna be a random drop that we don't even know about. And sure enough, it was. So yeah, I mean, the crazier thing about this, and I know this story gets even crazier, is that when I actually looked at the figure on Walmart.com or their Walmart app, it says it's EBT eligible for fucking food stamps. A NECA toy. So I don't know about you guys, but after I'm done filming this, I'm gonna head over to my local, food stamp place and pick up some food stamps so that way I could trade them for some NECA figures. I'm totally kidding, guys. It blew my mind that was something. You know, it's like, okay, you can actually use EBT to buy fucking NECA. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense now that I think about it, because it's considered a toy, and if you have kids, you know, a toy is a necessity for kids to be able to develop and grow. So that's really the only thing I can think of why it would be considered EBT eligible. However, I think it should be priced differently, or at least with a different barcode, saying that it is a collectible and not just a basic toy, because I feel like that would have made quite the difference. But anyways, guys, I digress. Let's go ahead and move on from this absolute shit show and talk about some Mcfarlane Toys, because they actually had quite a lot to announce and show off at New York Comic Con with something that was already previously announced and solicited, and that is the gold label Batmobeast. And this is a Walmart exclusive. This does not come with the outer shell. It comes muddied up, weathered up, as well as with a Batman figure. It looks okay. I'm not gonna lie, it looks okay. Definitely won't be picking them up. I don't have the space for a Batmobeast, guys. I barely have enough space for Batmobiles, so yeah, that's definitely a pass for me. They did also announce another exclusive Walmart wave. This time it is in the form of the recently released Arkham City wave. If you looked back at the advertisement for that video game, you will have noticed that they actually had quite a few black and white ad campaigns, and they just added a few important colors like blood to Batman's face and gloves, Catwoman's lenses in her goggles. They painted those actual colors, but the rest of it was in black and white, guys. So they went ahead and developed an exclusive for Walmart's Con, a black and white gold label Arkham City Wave. So yeah, if you are a hardcore gamer and a hardcore fan of the Arkham series, that is a pretty cool pack to have. Unfortunately, it seems like Todd is starting to take away articulation points to save a little bit of money, but he's going to lose quite a lot of money because I am officially out from Mcfarlane Toys, guys. I mean, they made some great announcements. I'm not going to lie. They made some that I was pretty tempted with, but at the same time, I was like, I have that figure. I can get a better figure. So, yeah. So, coming in 2023 to the multiverse, we are getting a yellow Batman, I guess, from something. We do get a comic style Catwoman, which is nice. A lot of people have been asking for that. We will also get a classic comic Batman with the gray suit, the yellow belt, and the light blue / dark blue cape. We are also going to be getting a Superboy, as well as Mr. Freeze, guys. This will be Todd's first attempt at Mr. Freeze. We are also getting an odd Superman and an odd Joker. I don't really know what they're from or what to call them, so I just put odd next to them because they do kind of look odd in my opinion. Now, keep in mind these are renders, so final product will look different from them. Moving on to some Dark Knight Trilogy stuff, because they did announce in spring of 2023 we will be getting the Dark Knight series wave, including Scarecrow, including Batman, including Joker, including Bane. So you will have all the main villains and the hero from the movie in one wave. Super awesome, super excited for that. So next up, why don't we go ahead and talk about some DC Mega Figs that he did announce. There were 2 of them that he did announce. I know neither of them. However, one thing I will say is that they do lack in articulation, even more so than the normal Mega figures already do. So just keep that in mind, and a heads up to you. So next up, why don't we go ahead and take a look at their Superpowers division or subline, whatever you want to call it, because Todd is continuing it on. It seems like with some characters that weren't in the original line, mainly being Nightwing and Deathstroke, but you are getting a Wonder Woman along with a Batmobile and an invisible jet, guys. That wraps up page 1 of this week's toy news. Now on to page 2, guys. Because he did also announce that the 7-inch Page Puncher line will continue with a full Aquaman wave. So we will be getting Old Man Aquaman, we will be getting Black Manta, we will be getting the main villain from the Aquaman series. I don't know his name, the King guy, Trident guy, I don't know what his fucking name is. And of course, Aqua Boy. So that should be a fun wave if that's something that you're interested in. It is definitely not something I am interested in, so I will be passing on. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about some Spawn, because he did announce some new figures for his Spawn line, as well as show off some previously announced figures for his Spawn line. The main one being the medieval Spawn. This guy looks phenomenal. I may have to pick him up just because that crossover just looks fucking awesome. He did also show off Monolith and Sin. I have no idea who these characters are because I don't read Spawn, but he showed them off and they are in the 7-inch scale, so I decided to bring them to you guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you know of any of those characters. So, if you didn't know, Todd did take over DC Direct, or as I should say, saved DC Direct, because when he did take over the action figure line, DC Direct quickly closed down and pretty much died until he decided to buy them up, or kind of like combine them in the contract deal, so that way he can release stuff under the DC Direct name, under the Mcfarlane name, do different things, you know, keep things interesting, especially with him since he's such a out there guy. So the latest offering from DC Direct is a Batman the Animated Series 4-pack. Unfortunately, this is a Walmart exclusive, so good fucking luck getting this, which is stupid because it comes with Joker, Harley, Batman, and Bullock, Harvey Bullock. I was drawing a blank. But it does come with all 4 of those characters. So moving on from that, McFarlane did also announce that they have re-partnered up with Warner Brothers to bring the movie Maniacs. So we will be getting figures based off of Looney Tunes, Harry Potter, Wizard of Oz, and Ted Lasso. Apparently that's a big enough show for them to make a figure / statue out of. So Yeah, it is what it is. So, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into some Star Wars news? Because Hasbro had some stuff to show off for us. Mainly because the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary is coming up, as well as the Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary. So, big milestones for both the films. And so they are going to celebrate or commemorate the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi with some thick back cardboarding for the card art. However, they did make another skiff Lando. I don't know when Hasbro's going to learn their lesson on Landos. He just does not sell. You can't give him away. And they keep producing more Landos. It's like we can get another Lando for retail or under retail at this point because he's coming out at that new price point. Whereas I'm sure you can find a Lando for under retail almost anywhere at any Target. Just ask them if they can give you a discount. They'll probably be like, we'll give you a discount and you can take 5 more of them for free. And you're going to be like, I just want the one Lando. And they're going to be like, please take the Lando. And you're just going to have to walk away because it's going to get a little weird. But yeah, so we are getting another Skiff Lando. Why? I have no idea. We will be getting a Biker Scout sans bike or speeder. We will be getting a re-release of Han and Leia in their Endor uniforms. If you do remember, last year or the year before that, it was part of the whole Heroes of Endor set, and then they released it on a separate wave. Well, it looks like for the 40th anniversary, they will be re-releasing these figures, except on some shiny, thick card backs. So keep that in mind if that's something you're interested in. They did also show off our first ever Wicked figure, so that's super cool and awesome. We'll be getting the little Wicked guy here soon enough, sooner rather than later. So the new thing that Hasbro's been doing after everything is their pipeline reveals, which is stuff that's up and coming, that's not quite in production yet, but it's going to be very, very soon. And so in this pipeline, they did show off the Mandalorian Season 2 Luke Skywalker, the unhelmeted Darth Vader from Episode 4 when Luke's trying to save him, R2-D2, Emperor's Guard. That basically ends the 40th anniversary, and now the next 1, 2, 3, 4 figures are all from Book of Boba Fett. Starting off with Cad Bane. We are going to be getting a Book of Boba Fett Cad Bane, as well as a Tuscan female fighter. Yes, if you remember correctly, the Tuscan female was the one to show Boba how to fight, so she will be getting her own figure very, very soon. And who could forget the Pike Syndicate in Book of Boba Fett? Well, Hasbro's got you covered because you'll be able to pick some of those guys up very, very soon. So the last pipeline reveal that they did show off is, of course, the Tuscan Leader from Book of Boba Fett. And like I said, I do want to end this portion by saying Attack of the Clones celebration or 20th anniversary is coming up this year. So to celebrate that, they will be releasing a Clone Trooper helmet, much like the ones I have up there, the Black Series. It is a Phase 2 one, unfortunately. I am a Phase 1 fan, which is why he has his. But it's another Clone Trooper helmet, and it will fit in my evolution of Clone Trooper helmets. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm pointing at. I don't think the camera goes up that high. But I do have a Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet, then a Stormtrooper helmet, then a First Order Clone Trooper helmet, which I did buy specifically to do this evolution thing. I wasn't too keen on buying anything from the new trilogy, but I was like, I have the Phase 1, I have a Stormtrooper, why not add a First Order? And now I'll be able to add a Phase 2, and in between the Phase 1 and the Stormtrooper helmet. So I'm super excited about that. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the final bit of news that I have here. Like I said, I am excluding Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe because we've already been at this for a while, and that would have just added so much more time to this video, and yeah, this is already going to be a long edit. So the last thing I do want to talk about is during Hasbro Con, which was, I believe, a week or two ago, they did announce a brand new Indiana Jones line. And if you didn't know, Indiana Jones is one of my all-time favorite characters / movies. Just barely edged out of my top 5 by the Ninja Turtles, but what are you gonna do? There are 4 talking turtles that can do fucking karate, and they kick ass, and they love pizza. Yeah, I'm sorry, but Indy, you got 6. So they did announce, I think, 3 new lines: the Adventure Series, the Retro line, and the Role Playing line. So for the Role Playing line, they did announce one thing, and that is the headpiece of the staff of Ra. So that's pretty cool that some of us are going to be able to buy it and have it on display. But next up, let's go ahead and talk about their retro line really quick, very briefly. They did announce a retro line. You can pick those up. They look shitty, but if you like them, you can pick them up. So moving on to their Adventure series, their 6-inch line, their build-in artifact wave. And that is because with each figure, you will get a piece of the Ark of the Covenant. So the first 2 figures in that line are Indiana Jones and Arnold Tot. So the guy, the Nazi that gets his face melted off, those are the 2 first figures. Following them will be Marion and, of course, Belloc. So once you collect all 4 of those, you will be able to build the Ark of the Covenant. And once you do that, just keep in mind, do not open it unless you want to end up like Tot, and nobody wants to end up like Tot. So yeah, guys, that wraps it up for the toy news, guys. Like I said, I am excluding Marvel Legends and, of course, anything else that I missed. Because 1, I'm not too interested, and 2, that was quite a bit of news. And with this being my first podcast back, it's going to be a fun one to edit, but it's going to get done nonetheless. So yeah, guys, like I said, quite a lot has changed. Quite some changes are going to be coming. Life decisions made. But also, a lot of things are the same. You know, I mean, we're here. Coffee and Toys. Got our toy haul. Got our toy news. And, of course, we have our unboxing, guys. So this week's unboxing is the brand new Target exclusive Droids Black Series Boba Fett. Like I said, I do wish they would have used that Return of the Jedi body, but alas, they didn't. They went ahead and used the Empire Strikes Back body, and what are you going to do? So, with that being said, why don't I go ahead and rip this guy open, and that way we can take a closer look. Even though we've already looked at this figure, we know what this figure is. We've gotten this figure so many fucking times. We're going to go ahead and do it. So, let me go ahead and grab my handy-dandy unboxing knife right here. Open that up, and let's go ahead and tear this open right there. I may actually save this Mouser pack for next week's unboxing because I have yet to open it, but I may just save it for next week. So let's go ahead and pull Boba out and put this down. Quick little tray shot for you guys so that way you can see everything basically just laid out in front of you guys, and you guys can zoom in and do what you need. But yeah, let me go ahead and rip him out of this plastic bubble, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, so here we have Boba all out of his packaging, and yeah, it's a repaint. The one thing I will say that I do enjoy about this figure in particular is that it does come with a soft goods cape, whereas the Return of the Jedi one, as great as the body is, it comes with a plastic cape, which is so fucking stupid, but it is what it is. And I do absolutely love the colors and paints on this guy, so yeah, I guess he's going to be staying in my collection. So yeah, guys, that basically wraps it up. Like I said, it feels great to be back here doing the podcast for you guys. It'll feel even better when I can do Coffee and Toys Live this upcoming week. It doesn't feel good being back home in LA, but it feels good being back surrounded around, you know, my toys, my collection, my dog, Blue, who's completely knocked out on my bed right now. I said his name and he didn't even move. Usually if I just say Blue, he's like, jumps up, he's like, what's up, man? But he's just completely knocked out. So yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much for coming back and checking it out. I do apologize for the 3-week hiatus from Coffee and Toys Live. Like I said, it was supposed to be a 2-week hiatus. I did have a guest scheduled, however, they had to cancel last minute, which is why I had to cancel last minute as well. So with that being said, guys, there is no Coffee and Toys Live after this episode, so you guys get to go home and enjoy the rest of your day after watching this or whatever you're gonna do after this. So thank you so much to each and every single one of you that checked it out. Thank you each and every single one of you that have hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already, follow me over on Instagram at CoolFigurez, and also check out my other Instagram page where I post my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. And if you do enjoy unboxings, check out my TikTok at CoolFigurez. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right here, right there, right there, guys. It's right fucking there. Let's get to 2,000 before the end of this year. I know that's not a possibility. I'm barely at like 1,041 followers or subscribers right now, so it's not a possibility. But if we can get 1,500 subscribers by the end of this year, I will be over the moon ecstatic. And then the goal for next year will be 3,000. So whether or not we meet it, thank you so much to each and every single one of you that take time out of your busy day to watch my videos, to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it, and I do this for you guys. And like I said, I just want to keep you guys updated. I will keep you guys updated, and I hope that everything works out and we have some great episodes coming up. So with that being said, guys, once again, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Coffee and Toys Live. And as always, I've been your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And as always, have a great fucking day. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do also have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys like unboxings, check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all of my unboxings. And check me out every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news, toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, weekly toy haul, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday over on Instagram for Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest every week about toys, toy hunting, toy photography, and so much more. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it.